that made you feel that it was important, to share elements of your background from Brooklyn right up into, the nature of your sexual life?
You can feel the lights burn hotter than usual. The crowd at the Tru Hollywood Club isn't massive, but their energy fills every inch of the room. It's February 9th, 2012, 2 days before the Grammys, and you're watching Whitney Houston take the stage unannounced. The band wasn't expecting her, no one was, but when she grabs the mic, everything else disappears. "Jesus loves me," she sings, a simple song, yet the moment feels different. Her voice, though weathered, still carries that same soul that once ruled the world. There's laughter, hugs, flashes from phones. For a few minutes, it feels like the Whitney everyone remembered was back, glowing, confident, alive. But behind that brief performance, there's exhaustion in her eyes. The industry, the pressure, the constant noise, it's all still there, even when the music stops. You see her smile fade just slightly as she steps off the stage. It's subtle but real. Later that night, tension quietly follows. Reports talk about a disagreement, a brief argument with another guest. Nothing major, they say, but it adds a small shadow to what should have been a night of joy. Yet Whitney doesn't storm out or cry. She stays, mingles, laughs again, as if trying to prove to herself that everything's fine. As the lights dim and the club empties, few realize they've just witnessed her final performance. No one could have known that this short, spontaneous moment, raw, unrehearsed, human, would become the last time the world would ever hear Whitney Houston sing. The city feels electric that week. Grammy weekend always does. You're in Los Angeles, surrounded by flashing lights, red carpets, and people pretending to be fine. Whitney's checked into the Beverly Hilton, the same hotel where music legends gather every year for Clive Davis's pre-Grammy party. She's been coming to that event for decades. It's like home, but this time, something feels heavier in the air. Inside her suite, there's movement, stylists, assistants, phone calls. Whitney's rehearsing, making small plans, talking about what she'll wear to the party. There's laughter between her and her team, even moments of hope. She's just finished filming Sparkle, her comeback movie, and talks about how it might remind people who she really is. Not the headlines, not the chaos, just Whitney. But the truth is, fame hasn't been kind to her body. The years of exhaustion, heartbreak, and addiction have left their mark. She still carries that radiant confidence when she enters a room, yet it's built on fragile ground. Some people say she looked anxious, distracted. Others insist she was happy, full of energy. Both are true in their own ways. By nightfall, she's out again, seen around the pool area, chatting, laughing with friends. Photographers capture her smiling, hair slightly wet, holding a drink. Nothing alarming, just another celebrity moment. But there's something invisible you can't photograph, the quiet fatigue behind the charm. She's pushing through.
I never expected to become a financial advisor. In fact, I was the girl who sat in back of the math class and did not raise her hand and hoped to God that no one would call upon me.
Through it, trying to convince herself that this time the storm has passed. The Grammys are coming, the party's near, and Whitney Houston is about to step back into the spotlight once more. The night before everything changes feels almost ordinary. The Beverly Hilton is alive with chatter. Guests checking in, music executives roaming the halls, and whispers of the pre-Grammy party echoing through the lobby. From the outside, it looks like any other weekend in Hollywood. Inside Whitney's suite, the mood drifts between calm and restless. The curtains are drawn, lights dimmed, and the sound of running bathwater hums quietly from the bathroom. You're surrounded by familiar faces, your assistant, your security, a few close friends dropping by. There's talk about outfits, about rehearsals, even about going downstairs for a bit. Whitney laughs at something on TV, sings a few notes under her breath, and checks her phone constantly. There's no sign of panic, no grand moment of despair, just fragments of normal life pieced together with a kind of fragile peace. But small moments carry weight. There's a prescription bottle on the counter, half empty. A drink on the side table, untouched. Her voice, when she speaks, is soft, slower than usual. Those who see her that night recall kindness, warmth, but also a faint distance, like she's there, but not fully present. Later, as the hotel quiets down, Whitney closes her door, tells her assistant to be back in the afternoon. The night stretches on in silence. No one knocks, no one calls. Outside her suite, the hallway lights flicker against the gold wallpaper. It's just another Los Angeles night, the kind that hides 1,000 untold stories. By morning, she'll still be here, but something unseen is already taking shape, something no one can stop and no one yet understands. Morning breaks over Beverly Hills with that golden California glow. The Beverly Hilton glitters with anticipation. Clive Davis's legendary pre-Grammy party is only hours away, and Whitney is supposed to be one of the honored guests. In her suite, it's just another Saturday. The phone rings a few times. She talks to her cousin Dionne Warwick about seating arrangements, then answers another call from her mother, Sissy. Both women later say she sounded upbeat, full of energy, like she was ready for the night ahead. Her assistant, Mary Jones, leaves the room around midday to get some things done. Whitney takes a bath to relax. She hums softly to herself, music playing faintly in the background. There's no shouting, no chaos, just the ordinary stillness of a hotel room preparing for a glamorous evening. But somewhere within that calm, something shifts. The water runs hotter than usual. The steam fills the bathroom. Maybe she stands too quickly. Maybe her heart, already strained from years of pressure and hidden damage, stumbles in rhythm. When her assistant returns a little after 3:30, the room is too quiet. She calls out, no answer. Inside the bathroom, the door's slightly ajar and the water is still running. Whitney is found face down, motionless, the water scalding.
Vaseline and a straight edge. I saw the trailer and I gagged. Literally, I gagged.
The phone is on the counter, the television still murmuring from the other room. Paramedics rush in, voices overlapping, but it's too late. At 3:55 p.m., Whitney Houston, the voice that defined an era, is pronounced dead. Downstairs, guests begin to arrive for the party she was supposed to attend, unaware that tragedy has already settled one floor above them. The headlines move fast, faster than the truth ever can. Whitney Houston found dead in hotel bathtub. The words flood every channel, every phone screen, but the real story is quieter, hidden behind medical language and unspoken pain. Days later, the autopsy confirms what rumors only guessed at. You didn't overdose at a party, and there was no foul play. The official cause of death, accidental drowning. But the heart tells a deeper story. Your body shows signs of struggle, not from violence, but from exhaustion. The coroner finds evidence of atherosclerotic heart disease, arteries narrowed from years of wear. Cocaine metabolites are present in your system, proof of recent use. It didn't take much, just enough to tip the balance, to strain a heart already fighting too hard for too long. They also find traces of prescription medications, Xanax, Benadryl, Flexeril, none in fatal doses, but each capable of slowing the body just slightly. Combined with the heat of the bathwater, it created the perfect storm. Your skin shows faint burns from the scalding temperature, something few would ever hear about. You didn't slip beneath the water in chaos. It was quiet, almost peaceful, a moment where the body simply gave out. The tabloids twist the facts, but the report remains clear. No foul play, no overdose, just a tragic mix of heart disease, drugs, and exhaustion. Behind the autopsy sheet is the story of a woman trying to breathe again in a world that never stopped watching her drown. And in that still bathroom, the truth remains heartbreakingly simple. You were tired, and the world never let you rest. News travels faster than grief. By the time the paramedics leave the Beverly Hilton, the world already knows. Cameras gather outside, reporters whisper names they can't yet confirm, and fans begin to appear with candles and flowers. Upstairs, hotel staff move quietly through the halls, trying to keep order as the biggest night in music turns into something else entirely. Downstairs, Clive Davis's pre-Grammy party, the one Whitney was supposed to attend, still takes place. Some guests call it eerie, others call it respectful, but no one truly knows what to feel. You can almost hear the confusion in every voice. Some say the show must go on, others whisper that it should.
You know, I guess it just speaks to like being hit with finally a visual of how hard this city was hit. I've watched every day from home, watched the mayor, watched the governor talk. Like literally, I was locked into New York even though I'm not here anymore.
As music plays beneath chandeliers, just a few floors above lies the silence of a legend. It's surreal, two worlds existing at once, one celebrating life, the other losing it. Back in New Jersey, Whitney Houston gets the call no mother should ever receive. Dionne Warwick, the cousin who spoke to her hours earlier, is in disbelief. Bobby Brown breaks down mid-performance when the news reaches him. Fans gather outside every radio station, playing her songs on repeat. For days, the streets are filled with voices trying to sing her back to life. The media, hungry for stories, floods every headline with speculation. The bath, the drugs, the rumors. Few mention the calm, the phone calls, or the quiet hope she carried that morning. Everyone wants a reason, but no one wants the truth. That sometimes the brightest voices fade not in chaos, but in silence. And that's how the world lost Whitney Houston, not in a storm, but in a quiet room filled with music, heat, and heartbreak. In the days that follow, the noise never truly stops. Tributes fill the airwaves, news anchors replay the same clips, and strangers cry for a woman they never met but somehow knew. Your voice echoes everywhere, in church choirs, in grocery stores, in empty cars, at stoplights. Everyone has their favorite song, their favorite memory, and they all say the same thing: there will never be another like you. At your funeral, the church glows with white flowers and candlelight. The same songs you once made immortal now fill the room, sung back to you by voices trembling with grief. Kevin Costner speaks softly about the girl who once doubted her own beauty. Clive Davis calls you family. Alicia Keys plays the piano through tears. It feels like the entire world has paused just long enough to remember what your music meant, how it made people feel invincible, even if only for a moment. But beneath the tributes lies a quieter truth, that fame never protected you, and success never healed what life had taken. You spent decades chasing peace in a world that only wanted your perfection. Yet even in your final days, there was still hope in your eyes, still plans for tomorrow. And maybe that's the legacy that remains. Not the tragedy, not the tabloid stories, but the resilience, the voice that refused to vanish. Because even now, long after the lights have faded and the noise has quieted, your songs still rise, pure, haunting, eternal. Whitney Houston may be gone, but her voice never learned how to die.